Here we go, guys. It is Tuesday. This is the Kickin with Andy show. We're going to have an awesome topic about troubleshooting. The 101s, the easy stuff, but you know what? We're going to cover it, and I love this stuff. It just gives me goosebumps, man. I love troubleshooting stuff, car audio or not, but hey, car audio is the fun stuff that we like to do. So let's kick it off and get to the show. See you guys in a second. Kickin It with Andy. He's going to be on every other Tuesday. Kickin It with Andy. Kickin It with Andy. Another Tuesday, and here we are. What is going on, everyone? Thank you for tuning in. This is the Kickin It with Andy show. I guess you could say unmasked, unofficial. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me tonight. We have an awesome topic, troubleshooting. The basics, and you know, I feel like everybody is troubleshooting their system at least once, and you know, it almost never stops. Unless you keep the same system and never change anything. And even then, something might happen and you have to troubleshoot something. Shoot, yesterday I was just out troubleshooting the quad box because I had someone tell me that two subs were moving more than the other one, so I had to come out with a multimeter and ohm it out and just make sure. Check my RCAs, check the gain, make sure, because I'm running 2 amps. You know, going over the basics, and I'm going to talk about that. And man, I had this chart, and I'm surprised it didn't go further through the internet web more than it did, but to the people that it really hit. Man, did they like it and enjoy it? And I'm going to go over it, and I feel like it is a very good rule book of just kind of going over how to troubleshoot something, especially if you're new to this kind of stuff and you don't know what to look for. And man, do you need the real expensive tools? Like, I love this Fluke portable O-scope. It's my buddy DJ's let me borrow it. I still have to give it back to him. I know how to work it a little bit, but man, there's a lot of stuff on there that I don't even know how to work. I like the SPL Lab. It kind of keeps it simple. But at the end of the day, you know, whenever you go out and buy a system or you're just thinking about buying a system, even if you have someone install it, you know, that installer is not with you going down the road. When you're bumping, you're listening to your music, they're not with you. So if something happens, how are you going to know what's wrong and how to fix it right away instead of just taking it to the shop? Or, you know, it could be something simple. And let's just kind of talk about those things. I want to hear from you guys too. If you have any ideas, questions about what I'm going over, drop them down in the comments. I just want to do a little intro there to give the guys that are just joining us a little idea what we're doing. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And of course, make sure you enter the giveaway. It's every Tuesday, either on my channel or Kicker. It's www.kicker.com/umweekly. Go check it out, man. Enter. You win some awesome stuff. You can actually see it right behind me. You either get the Cush NCs, the Tabor 2s, or the EB400s. All come with the official limited edition Kicker Unmasked shirt and Kicker koozies. We love the koozies, man. So I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're going to have an awesome, awesome show. Thank you, Scott. You're going to love this too, man. Going to be a good episode. Killing it, Andy. Thank you, buddy. Trying my best, man. It's been a crazy week. Everyone getting sick, and surprisingly, I made it through it. I quarantined myself, and it worked. But you know what? Everyone's starting to feel a lot better. Oakley got his cast off. Things are looking up. So other than the Steeler game, can't complain. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. What's going on, Brian? What is up? Thank you for always tuning in as well. Franco316, thank you as well. Tell me about it. Installer screwed up the polarity subs. Shake my head. I mean, polarity could be something that maybe they're just not paying attention to. Trying to put the install together real quick and put a color on a black, you know, and it's just, that happens. But if you kind of want to make sure that everything is good. I don't know. I'm the kind of person, I'm not good at multitasking, surprisingly. But I'm like double checking myself, triple checking myself, making sure the wires are all connected to where they're supposed to go. Because if I just do it without thinking, I mess up too, man. It happens. We're human. But it's a shame that happens. And if that does happen, how do you know how to fix it? I mean, with polarity, if you really want to get into it, it might be a little bit harder to actually figure it out, but with your ear, you can honestly just tell the difference by switching one of the speaker's directions by switching the positive and negative, which is polarity. Now phase, that's all different kind of stuff, but kind of in the same field, but it's not. But we're not going to get into that, but you know, I don't know how many people have ran their systems out of phase like that, and they didn't realize that their system could be a lot louder, and they're like, man, my bass sounds hollow, and it's because it's wired backwards. One of the speakers are, and it happens, man, and it's sad, but you know, that's what we're here to talk about, of just being able to fix your system by yourself, man. And to kind of kick this off, the multimeter. You know, this was a $30 or $40 multimeter. I got it for Christmas. You know, your extended family know what you do, and man, a multimeter hits home, you know, because you can always use it for a lot of things, and sometimes you misplace them. I've always held on to this one though, and you can get them for real cheap. You can get $5 or even free ones at Harbor Freight. But I wouldn't say they're the best, but I mean, it's free. You can't beat free. But if you're going to go and buy a system, this is something that you're always going to need, and it can test pretty much everything within reason of what could be wrong with your system, between the voltage, the impedance, and all that kind of fun stuff. And I don't really need to go over each individual thing here of what it does. I mean, it tests AC, DC, resistance, continuity, and other things. And you can even, I believe it works like a shunt, but we're not going to get into that. We're reading amperage current when you wire things in series, but we're not going to get into that because that's not car audio, really. But I'm going to talk about the different ways to use this of the problem that you might have. with that chart that I have, and I'm going to bring that up here in a second, and it's just something to keep me moving and grooving too, just so that I don't have to make up 20 different scenarios. I got them all right here, and it's going to be awesome. You guys are going to like it. RVH, thank you for tuning in, man. Appreciate that you're here. Bobby B is loving the Tabor 2s. Me too, man. Me too. I actually left them in my car, and I missed work, last week, because, I just wanted to stay home because I didn't know if I had it. I didn't want to keep spreading it and all that kind of fun stuff, because that's real. My parents are older, and help around the house, too. You know what I mean? And just be here. Regardless, my buddy, I left my Tabor 2s in the car, and he used them for work, man. That's what I usually use them for, and they're really nice speakers, man, or headphones. They are awesome. El Fuego says Troubleshooting Tools, O-scope, multimeter, polarity checker, and hammer. I mean, the hammer is definitely the fourth and final tool that you need when you just give up. Polarity checker, I want to get one where it actually sends, because you can use it with DC, 9-volt battery, but that's still not really practical of polarity and just how that kind of stuff works. The polarity testers are a lot nicer, where they give a little pop, and they're dedicated to do that. Or there's actually, I think there's digital ones too that just light up if it's one way or the other way, just so that when you're putting your door speakers in your car, they're wired the right way. Especially whenever you're sitting there cutting wires, or even if you're not, you're buying the harness adapters and you're tying them into your speaker, and you don't know which one's positive and negative because you don't have the wiring diagram of your car. All you bought were the connectors, and they're not black and red. Let me tell you, they're like green and yellow, and then the other one is like white and gray, and like you can't tell which one is which. And sometimes they change on all four speakers, so you're kind of just guessing, and that's kind of where those polarity testers come in hand. Thank you, El Fuego. Very good point, man. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, when they're wired in out of phase or out of polarity, whatever, you'll see them moving a lot because they're not, quote, fighting each other. When two subs are sharing the same chamber, you're building pressure. So that's kind of the impedance curve and rise and how all that fun stuff works, just building pressure. And when you have one going out and one going in, there's less pressure being generated, and the subwoofers are going to inherently move more easier. Absolutely, man. Thank you for tuning in, too. 25 even knows the multimeter is a must. You don't need something very expensive. You don't need to go out and buy a $100 multimeter. I know so many people in even our hobby and other hobbies where they go out and try to buy the best of the best just because I want to buy the best thing so I get the right thing, and then they don't even know how to use it. I've had some that have so many switches on it in the beginning, I'm like, I don't even know how this works. I just need to test voltage. This has got a lot of stuff going on. The simpler ones, cheaper ones will get you there, and then if you want something that's a little more accurate, especially when testing resistance of something, that can come into play too. I've even had issues with multimeters reading weird numbers. If you ever had your subs reading out above normal, like say you measured them once and you measure them again, and they're reading higher, you could have damage on the speaker, but 9 chances out of 10, it's your leads. When you're tying your leads, you're pulling at them, for some reason it can build resistance within the wire. So every time you use your multimeter, as you would check your resistance, you would put it on the little horseshoe right there. Got a little light here, see if you can see that. Probably better without the light, huh? On the little horseshoe, which measures resistance. Literally, take your leads and tap them together. It should read 0. If it reads higher, then you have to take that number and subtract it from what you're getting. Because then if you're trying to get something crazy, of what your actual sub is and just make sure that everything's okay, or you're trying to wire at some weird impedance, 1.67 is weird. Why is it reading 2.2? It could be your leads. So that's another troubleshooting just tactic of just checking everything before you do it. You don't have to do it every time, but if you're noticing something abnormally, that's what you could do. Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Chuck T, how y'all doing this Tuesday evening? Doing great, man. I had a crazy weekend. We are here, and man, I couldn't be happier to do this stuff. Deviant has arrived, so I guess we could start the show. I guess we could throw up that chart now that Deviant's here. We'll do a follow. Thank you, Sound Doctor, for tuning in too, man. Appreciate you guys. I see y'all. All right, let me scroll down here. I'm behind, of course, but you know what? I have to get some things off my chest. All right. Cool. 1 second here, guys. SJC is here. What is up, SJC? Thank you for tuning in, buddy. Frank Herb, I know he's driving at the red light. Thank you for listening, man. Be safe on your travels. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you guys enter. Again, don't forget, make sure you guys enter the weekly giveaway. Try to post this every 15 minutes or so, man. Guys, go enter. It's awesome stuff, man. All right, let me scroll down here. I know Cornut has been waiting for the show. He's been MIA, but it's okay. Thank you so much for tuning in, buddy, when you can. A multimeter that can read amp draw can trace parasitic draw. Very good point. I actually didn't know that. Thank you so much. You know, I kind of knew how they could do that of the other setting there. So I guess it would work like a shunt, a DC to read current for DC. So I guess you could hook that up and then it would tell you how much current it's pulling. You know, you park your car, if you got parasitic draw, that could kill your batteries. And usually that's from bad connections. And we'll get into bad connections, man, because I feel bad connections are the 102 of troubleshooting. It's usually a bad connection of why you're having problems with your system. And that's usually the best, you know, situation. Oh, it's just a loose connection. I'll fix that. That's free. Or I just have to buy a new fuse. Or, you know, very simple things to fix. My watch is dying. Forget to charge that sometimes. I was like, is Bill or Ernie calling me? What am I doing wrong? Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I want to get to that chart, but I'm just trying to catch up to the chat a little bit here because you guys are awesome for tuning in. What is up, Paul? Thank you for tuning in. Of course, super chats ain't working, but I don't care. Matt G, thank you for the $10 super chat, man. $9.99, my bad. Here's the money you said you needed. You make sure I win the grand prize. Oh, man, you are not supposed to. That was between the DMs, man, but thank you. Appreciate you. Yeah. You know what? Let me just fix that real quick. Okay. Yep. Now you have a 10% more chance of winning. No, I'm just kidding. Thank you so much for tuning in, man, and your super chat. Love you guys so much. Donations are crazy, man. You guys are nuts. You're nuts. All right. Let's see here. Let me scroll down. Of course, the Discord is always lit, guys. We even got Bill Frog there. Even Bill Frog is there. Oh. Now, I got to get Aaron in there next. I got to get Aaron in there. Aaron Mallon, if you know who Aaron Mallon is. All right, let's see here. Yes, leads can go bad, part of maintenance and car audio. 100%, man. You know, I'm always wrapping them around, so I'm always fixing my leads, too. Hey, it's just easier, you know? You do this stuff, and you're always testing something. You're doing 20 different projects. You drop it down, and then that's it. So let me scroll down here. Thank you guys so much. Yes, absolutely. Let me scroll down and catch up for a second, and then I'm going to get to that chart. I'm really slow here. We got a Facebook user from Kicker Club. Irvin, what is going on? He came out to Team SP Loud Show. Thank you for tuning in tonight, buddy. Appreciate that you're here. Even my mom's talking to Deviant. Love you, Mom. Always making it rain. William, I'm going to end on this one for now. Kicking it with Andy, the Kicker on Mass show for the win. Thank you for all you do. Hope your Sunday show is great. You're a rock star. You know, I think we had the best show we've ever had. And I know you can say that every time, but man, people were like, man, these people are so nice here. I'm having such a good time. This is a great atmosphere. The lane went smooth. I had, you know, a lot of people, 25, 30 actual people compete. And every class was booked. And man, it was just even, and it was very competitive. People had fun, had food. I got to give demos. The weather was 80 degrees. It didn't rain. We didn't get one complaint about bass. It was the best show. Absolutely. Thank you, William, so much, man. All right, let me throw this up really quick. All right, I'm real tiny now, but just look at the chart. Try not to get too crazy, and I'm going to be able to zoom in on this thing. Now, this chart is awesome, and if you guys want to screenshot this later, here, I'll just zoom it out real fast. Give you 3 seconds, 2, 1. All right, you had enough time to screenshot. This thing is awesome. Why doesn't my system work? And if you want a high definition picture of it, hit me on Patreon or Facebook. I'll get you. All right. Now, I made this, and I thought this was an awesome way to help people of how to diagnose what's wrong with their system. Now, your system consists of your radio, your amplifier, your wires, your RCAs, your remote, your speaker wires, your subs, all that kind of stuff. This is the basic way to try to help someone or your own system of what's wrong. You know, I know people that are louder than me and they don't know the 101s. And this is the 101 stuff of just how to diagnose what is wrong with your system, man. It's literally it. Bubba, thank you for the $20 super chat, man. Always supporting. Per 25 Hertz to Life. Rain has been called for, sponsored by the good old folks at the 14.4 Talk Discord crew. Hit the like, y'all. Absolutely. You guys are awesome, smashing that like button every time. Love you guys. Thank you so much. And Bubba, thank you. All right, let me scroll down. Okay, I'm going to zoom in on this so you guys can see. All right, everything starts at your amplifier. If your amplifier isn't on, 9 chances out of 10, your music ain't going to be playing, or the light's bad. So it all starts with the amplifier. Obviously, it could be something else, and I try to tell people, work from the front back, but we're going to work at the amplifier because the amplifier is the heart of your system. Is the amplifier on? Now, I was going to go like, okay, guys, do you want to have the amplifier on or off and all these variables? But I'm just going to go through it because I feel like it'll be a lot quicker and we can just get through this and it'll get to the point of the video. Scott, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you, man. You were also there at the SP Loud show. Thank you for hanging out. All right, so is the amplifier on? A lot of times, if the amplifier is off, people are just going to be like, oh, well, the amplifier is, you know, just not working. It's probably my power wire. I'll check there. And I feel like 9 chances out of 10, that's it. Let me know if you guys can still see that. I would rather you guys kind of see me too, and zoom this in enough so you can see it. So we're going to say the amp's on, because that's when things get weird. Okay, the amp's on, but I got no sound. I feel like that's more of a situation where you're like, I don't know what's wrong here. I can send you a PDF, yes. All right, so you go down here, you click yes. Well, you don't click it. I wish I had an interactive one. That would be awesome. Any of you smart computer guys, let me know if you can build me something here. That would be cool. All right, so yes. Wait, let me zoom out. I'm getting lost here. Yes. Is the amplifier on? Yes. Okay, so if the amplifier is on, are the RCAs putting out AC voltage? Now, how to test... I should have brought RCAs. That would have been great. You know what? Don't have them right here. But I can go grab some RCAs over there. Give me 1 second, because we kind of need that. We kind of need that. Give me 1 second here, guys. I know, this isn't what I normally do. Let me move over. Got some RCAs. All right, so how to test the RCAs. Thank you, SJC. You know, I just don't know how to do that kind of stuff, and I think it would be cool for somebody to be able to have something that's interactive. Now, these are not car audio grade RCAs or anything like that, but they work. Now, what you're going to do to test these, you only need one, but you can do both. But you only need one here, and you're going to test... Come on, there we go. The male prong on the outside here, you're going to test with one of your leads on your multimeter, and then the outside casing. And that's literally how you test for AC voltage. You have AC voltage coming out of your RCAs. And on your multimeter, the AC is the squiggly. The squiggly line is the AC. That is how you test your RCAs. Now, RCA voltages can be all over the place. If it's like your sub and it's from a regular head unit, you're going to see 2 to 4 volt pre-out depending. Now, if it's, you know, if you're running like a Kissel or something like that, you could have up to 40 volts of pre-out. But it's still going to give you an indication of how, if you're getting any kind of signal coming from those RCAs. So, back to the chart. You guys are nuts. All right, so let's say the RCAs are putting out voltage, but the amp is just not on. So if you got voltage coming out of the RCAs, that's where you know, okay, we got signal, we got, we got signal. That's all we tested so far. We got signal. And are the subwoofers reading impedance at the DC resistance? I should have put DC resistance. My bad. I noticed this. This was 2 years ago. DC resistance at the terminal. So if they are, everything's working like it should, what do? Try a different amplifier. Because it could be the amp where the amp's on, you're getting signal, your subs are reading DC resistance, everything is connected like it's supposed to, and you could check the wire in between from the box DC resistance to the end of the wire before it goes to the amp, and make sure but that's still the same idea. Try a different amp. See if you're getting any sound. 9 chance out of 10, I believe 99% of the time, the amp's bad. And you just the amp's not working. It's receiving, it's just not pushing anything out. So let's go back here again. All right, amp's on, okay? Again, the amp's on, but what was it right here? Okay, the RCA's putting out voltage. Yes, we have voltage coming out to the amp from the head unit to the amp, but we got no resistance at the speaker. Check impedance on each coil inside of the enclosure. Because if your outside of your enclosure is not reading anything, then it's probably maybe a loose connection inside your box, or you got blown speakers. So that's kind of, explanatory, but I just wanted to cover that one. And again, now back to the RCAs. Amp's working, amp's on, but we got no RCA voltage, right? So what do? We tested for the AC voltage. We're not getting nothing. So what do? You check, you check the head unit RCA voltage coming out of the back of the head unit, because you could have faulty RCA wires. So that's where you get here. So if you got power coming out of your RCAs out of the head unit, but not at the back of the wires at the amp, got bad RCAs. You got bad RCAs. We knew that. Now, if we don't have any RCA voltage coming out of the RCAs to the amp, to the back of the head unit, not all has failed. Could be a bad head unit, or your settings on the radio could be off, which is something that people might overlook. Man, you know what? I didn't even think of that. There's settings that can turn the subwoofer on and off, which is your low-level RCA rear output, however that head unit is designed, and I feel like that's very, very important. All right, cool. Let me scroll back up here again. How do you guys like it so far? I think it's pretty cool of how this kind of works. Yes, the Eclipse for the win. Always for the win. I try to read your guys' comments while I'm doing this, but it's too much. You guys are having your own conversation. That is awesome. Thank you, guys. I just like you guys hanging out, man. That's how we do it. All right, cool. Now, the amplifier is, I think we went through, okay, those are all the kind of situations that the amplifier is on, what to look for. Usually when the amp's on and you got no sound, it could be bad. It's just, a loose connection, something's not working down the line or ahead of the line, but you're still getting 12-volt signal. So what if the amplifier is not on, You got your radio, your subs are hooked up, the amp's not turning on. What do we do? Okay, so is there 12-volt reading at the power wire of the amplifier? I feel like this is something that we should always check, obviously, do we got power? The amp's not turning on. It's one or two things, remote wire, or three things, remote wire, ground, or power. So the first thing to check is your power, because I feel like a fused circuit is going to have fault before a non-fused circuit in general terms, just because that's the weakest link is the fuse, and it's there for a good reason. Yes, team no fuse, absolutely. So let's say if you have no voltage at your power wire, you're just not. That's not a good day. So if you got no power at your 12-volt wire coming out your amp, obviously check for fuse. Check for fuse and for voltage up front. Fuse could be blown, it could be a loose connection, anywhere, man. But that's just if you don't have 12 volt. That's kind of common sense there, but you got to check it. I feel like that's very important. We have almost 40 people in here tonight. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, man. You guys are awesome. Let me scroll down here. Okay, so let's just say most cases the amp's not working, but there is power. I feel like that is the alternative of the other way of looking at it when you have a problem and you don't know what's wrong. Amp's not working, but you got power. You know, what's wrong? What's going on with my system? Okay, so we got power. Is there voltage coming from the remote turn-on? The remote turn-on can have some issues, you know, of the head unit, of they have switch settings and stuff like that, or it could be a kinked wire, or it could be maybe you hooked it up to the wrong one. Head units have an antenna out, and then they have the remote out, and it doesn't quite work as a remote wire. Let's just put it that way. And it's blue, but it's a blue-white, you know, vice versa, whatever, you know, it happens. You can hook up the wrong wire to it. That is what turns the amplifier on. Unless you got DC offset and then DC offset, then you got to have your speaker or your RCAs hooked up, or it's never going to turn on. And I didn't really go down into integration stuff with, you know, all different ways of how amplifiers can be hooked up and which way to look at it. But the simple stuff, that's kind of what we did. So, yes, exactly. Exactly. Signal sense, right. The DC offset or signal sense, right. And you know, that I feel like that'll work. And I've tried it with low-level pre-outs, but I had a problem where the volume had to be turned up significantly higher than when it was turned on with a high level feeding into the low level, with how that kind of stuff works. I mean, kicker amps can take high level source and feed it to the low level RCAs, but a lot of those, it's more as just a high level adapter, and you just plug it in, and then that's where it is, and that's where it works because the voltage is higher and the volume doesn't need to be turned up as high, and it gets that sense signal, and boom, it turns the amp on. But absolutely, man, you're reading my mind. All right, cool. What is going on, Bubba? SJC, cool. All right, cool. RGA's in the house. What is up, RGA? Thank you for tuning in. Okay, so is there voltage coming from the remote turn on? So the amp's on, or the amp's not on. There's a 12 volt power wire, and there's voltage going to the amp. So this is usually a bad sign. When you got power wire, or you got power coming from your remote wire, you got power coming from your positive wire, that's bad. And I'm trying not to skim over too much stuff here, but how to test the DC resistance, your power wire, your remote wire, everything else, in mostly in car audio, is going to be your DC, and that's going to be the lines with the little dots on the bottom there. And you're going to do the same thing. You always got to make sure that you can't just hook it to the positive. I've seen people do that, believe it or not. You have to have it hooked up to a ground somewhere, and if you have it hooked up to a bad ground, it can actually read low voltage, which is weird because, man, grounds are very, very, very important. I cannot stress it enough. I've seen so many people that have problems with their cars, and it's always the ground. It's always the ground. Did you check your ground? That's why they joke about it. But man, you know, if you got no ground, you got no power. That's just how it is, man. It's a complete circuit. Everything has to be working like a machine, like an engine. Has to be running on all cylinders. So, Notorious is having Bluetooth problems. Oh, RVH. I see that. Okay, so, where was I? Voltage. Oh, yes. There's power wire coming. There's power coming from everywhere that it should be. And literally, like I was talking about, did you check your ground? And it's a meme in itself. Like, because there's no yes or no. You know, did you check your ground? Yes. You know, did you check it? Did you? So if you checked your ground and it looks okay and it seems all right, this goes to this bottom bar where it seems like a lot of things go to, at least on that side. Try a different amp. Because if you got power wire, you got sense, your remote turn on, and your ground's okay, it's probably the amp, you know, because everything is working like it's supposed to, like it should, and yeah, it's probably the amp. You know, because we already went over, you know, everything else with the other side. But you didn't even need to get there too much. Like you could. Maybe that's a loophole in my problem here. You know, did you check the RCAs? Because you might still not be getting source out of that thing. But, you know, I feel like once you veer on one side, you kind of know where to check on the other. But this is just simple, like what to look for first. The amp's not on. So 9 chances out of 10, if the amp's not on, it's not working. And it's just that's the problem. I don't feel like all those issues would be just a little LED light just not turning on. Could be, very well could be, very slim. So you checked your ground. Clean ground and check all connections. I know it's very generally put, but man, I cannot stress this enough. Literally check your connections. We see it all the time on the base head pages. These guys are like, man, my amp's so strong, it melted my fuse. And I'm like, yes and no. Yes, you're pulling too much current, but there's a few reasons why. It could be from the loose connection building up resistance in that point, which is causing too much heat. Resistance and current and power all go hand in hand. And obviously, if you have, maybe not the right size wire, or you're running undersized wire in your system, you're just creating that heat faster than you normally would. And usually you see it on that 0 gauge CCA stuff with somebody running a 1,000-watt amp or 1,500, and they're just clipping it, and they got no battery in the back. They're pulling a lot of current through that wire, and they have a loose connection, a cheap little fuse block, and they just didn't tighten it down very good. And you're driving, you're bumping, that screw gets a little lighter, a little looser, and the next thing you know, you're pulling a lot more current in that area, and that's the weakest link is your fuse, but that's the point of it. So always check your connections, guys, man. I feel like it cannot be said enough. Of course, I had to put my little name on there just because, man, this was good stuff. So, back up here again. We got power on our amp. We got remote wire, current, voltage, whatever. It's working. Everything's working. Oh, what did I do? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry, guys. All right. I kind of clicked over too far because I'm real close to the thingy thing. All right, yeah, don't forget, kids, always fuse your grounds. I mean, you could, but you're really not, I mean, I feel like, yes, power is being, yes, but I feel like need more input. It's not like it's hurting you, but is it helping you if you have overcurrent? I don't think so. But it could. It very well could if you have a loose ground, and you're creating more resistance, and in doing so, to do the same amount of power, the current has to be higher because there's a loose connection, and you pop your fuse. So, I mean, it's not like it's a bad, terrible idea. You just don't see it too much. Thank you, SJC. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, guys. Smash the like. Again, I know it's around that time. Go enter the contest, man. Taylor, Saraki, I don't know what you're doing tonight, man. I keep telling you, it's the guy that, stole my Tabor 2s while I wasn't at work. Enter the contest, man. You need some headphones? I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Appreciate you guys. Exactly. Electronics flow from ground. Exactly. They go backwards. They go backwards in the battery. You go from the negative and then back to the positive, and that's the flow. Exactly. That's why it's not a terrible idea. I don't think it is. You see it a lot in car audio. People are like, so-and-so said this is a bad idea, so I'm going to say it's a bad idea. I don't feel like I'm the same person. It's like, I need to know why that's a bad idea. I might agree with you at first, and it's like, okay, well, let me look into this. Just like how I am with the fuse of the ground. I mean, like, it's not like it's a terrible idea. Like, it's part of the entire system. You don't have a ground, you got nothing, so it's got to be pulling some kind of current, man. I know whenever I first started upgrading my power, I upgraded the big 3 of the big 2 up front, the charge wire and then the run to the back, but I never replaced my ground. As soon as I replaced my ground, that's where I saw the significant difference, because it needed everything. And you're telling me that you couldn't fuse the ground and it wouldn't help in some situation. Not like I ever did, but you could. You absolutely could. I mean, I've come to realization I run good products, Kicker, where I just, I don't push things too far. I run the appropriate size of wire and for the amount of current draw that I'm running. Yes, a freak accident could happen, and maybe I don't have a fuse where I need it to be, but I mean, I don't feel like I'm going to be in that kind of situation. And at that point, I think it's kind of game over anyway, man. the more you learn this stuff, fuses are there. Fuses are friends, you know, like fish are friends. Fuses are friends. But I feel like, you know, with the ground, I mean, I don't know. You're getting me down a rabbit hole, guys. Slow down. Slow down. All right, so back to this. Is there voltage coming from the remote turn on? Okay, we're going to say no. There's no voltage coming from the remote turn on. So you got to check your head unit voltage of remote wire. So that's where you just have to pull your head unit out and test the remote wire. See if there is current. It's not going to be 14 volts. It's usually lower, 12 to 13. Compared to your charging of your stock electrical, it's always a little lower. Test there, and then make sure that you're, you know, grounding somewhere on the car, you know, because there's not a battery back there. There's not a negative ground that's easily accessible. You could stab your ground for your head unit, but make sure to tape that up. I mean, I know I've stabbed multiple wires of testing stuff and I've never taped it up, but I'm just saying this for the simple person. Plus you're pushing it back into a big metal box, you know, things can happen. So I would just try to find a good solid ground back there, and you'll be good to go. But check the voltage back there and see if you got voltage. You got voltage coming back from there. If you do, you shoot way back over to the other side, try another amp. And then if you don't got any voltage coming from the remote wire, bad remote wire or bad head unit. And it could be a switch, just like how we were on the other side. You know, where it's just, you know, the wire is not making it full connection, or it's just the head unit itself just not putting it out, because I've seen those the remote wire, the whole section there, kind of stop working from being shorted out. And that can happen from a lot of different things, man. If you guys want to check this out real quick again, man, this thing is awesome. Let's see here. Just to zoom in just a little bit for you. I love this chart, man. You know, I don't know. I feel like it kind of covers left field and right field pretty good. I've never seen anyone else kind of do this. And you see it for so many other things in life, and I think this is pretty cool, because it'll help the novice of what to do in what kind of situation of whatever they're running, man. You know, I feel like it's really good stuff. Let me extend my screen really fast here. There we go. Cool. I'm a little bit bigger now. All right, back to the comments. Man, 42 minutes already. You know how it goes. We always hit that, you know, bald side of the tire. We're bumping around. We're having fun though, guys. Appreciate you hanging out, man. If you guys got any questions about anything, man, drop them down below. I just feel like, you know, with the multimeter, it is going to be your best friend. It's going to be your best friend. You can buy something real expensive like this, but this could test, you know, your significant other of where they want to eat for dinner. I'm telling you, it'll give you everything. This not so much, but it's all you really need. You know, I hate whenever I go into something blind, you know, and it's like I'm guessing to see if this is working right, and I've learned to do without a multimeter, you know, by having spare equipment. Spare equipment, I can't stress enough, is nice to have, to try another amplifier, to try another subwoofer, to eliminate the problem of what it could be. You might jump to conclusions. I've seen people jump to conclusions where they just, oh yeah, these subs are bad, and I see it on Marketplace, I see it on so many other places where they're just getting rid of it. It's junk, it's no good. Here, you fix it. I don't know what's wrong with it, or whatever the situation is. Somehow I get my hands on it, and it's like something so simple, you know, something so simple where it's just like the back of the speaker inside the box was disconnected. It came apart. One of them was, you know, or, you know, maybe a little more complex. Tinsel leads, man. Chad Brudout gave me these 2 Kicker comp subwoofers. They were the dual voice coil. I still got them. Very rare, very rare. They came in the loaded enclosure. But anyway, one of the coils were bad, and I didn't really, you know, look more into it for a while. And then I'm playing it with like one coil, and I'm like, man, let me just take a look at this thing. So I pull it up, and I'm looking. I'm like, okay, that just came off right there. I can just put a little bit of solder, boom, done. Literally fixed. Literally fixed. It's a simple stuff like that, man. But I mean, that's a little more complex for the novice to do, but I feel like even there, you know, if you just look at the stuff, you have things to test it with, you can kind of, you know, and the experience helps too. But that comes just by doing so many builds. Not even other people's builds, like your own builds. You know, I've been doing this stuff for a while, like off camera and just behind the scenes before anybody knew who I was, you know, just sitting there playing with speakers, you know, boxes. I know a lot of you guys do, and that's why we're here, and that's why we do this stuff, man. But that's just, you know, I feel like the multimeter makes things a lot easier because you're blind regardless, and then you're wasting time, and time is money, man. I can't stress it enough. You just got to look at it, Scott. You just got to look at the chart and say, would you look at that? That's probably why my boom booms ain't working no more. You just got to look at it that way. Oh, man. Bring out the best of me, man. Thanks for tuning in. RGA, my multi-meter bobber is not my best friend. Hey, you know, I've had some issues with them too, man. You know, especially in the beginning, like trying to work it. I'm like, oh my God, what button is it? Is it this one? Is it that one? It's got milliamp, all this kind of stuff. That's why I tell you guys, get a little bit easier one. Parker versus Andy, War of Walmart Car Audio. Say less. No. I asked Bryce today, I'm like, are you sponsored by Walmart? He said, yes. I was dying. We just picked up a Walmart, literally, literally a Walmart for Christmas. You put under your tree. It's got like snow and stuff. Pretty cool stuff. No, I know. I'm slacking on my Walmart video. I've just been doing so many other fun things too. I will get to it, but mine's not SPL. But I do want to do that. I do want to do one. And, I mean, I like his Walmart video. I really did. I watched all 11 of them. Man, there was a lot. But it was like different steps. And, well, I don't know if it was that or his build. I know there was like 4 or 5 of them at least, because he tried all different configurations, wiring them into the dirt and stuff like that. And obviously you're going to get some output out of there. But the truck was just not ideal. Sub-firing in, you know, it's just, trucks like that, I mean, they're tough. Baba, you know. It's tough to get loud, and for watt, I mean, you put that same build into like a hatchback or an SUV, you're going to be 2-3 dBs louder across the scale. But either way, very good content for what he did, man. You know, I want to do one more with that Razor amp. I think the Razor amp is good. The Pioneer amp actually went up $30 since I've tested it. I bought it for $90, $99. It's $135 now. Very good amplifier. But I want to run that with probably a Razor or 2. I want to try and start out little because I like that Jensen sub, but man, Kicker screaming my name, man. Kicker versus Power Acoustic watt for watt in the same Walmart box. Which will win? I think that's a great video. We'll get there when we do. Appreciate you guys. All right. If I skipped any super chats, let me know. I will go back shortly. We won't have that problem anymore, right, SJC? Or it's just this room, you know, maybe there's some kind of magnetic field just not letting super chats be notified on this computer, any computer I put on here. I wonder, I'll have to try to sign in on StreamYard on my phone sometime to see if that makes a difference, because I believe they come up on there. I've just never streamed on my phone, so I don't know. They might. All right, cool. Semi-Pro Audio 14.4 volt talk brought me here. Man, that is like a trademark. Deviant, you got to do something about that. Appreciate you guys. Semi-Pro. Darn Troubleshooting Kids audio. Damn it, Troubleshooting Kids audio on computer solved. Hey, you know, SJC, you do best of both worlds, man. And more complex stuff, man. I know you know a lot about troubleshooting, especially with like just the boards, the green boards, and just all that kind of stuff. Of just, it's practically, if you know how to literally work on that kind of stuff, man, you could almost build amplifiers, you know. And there's so much to that. I know a friend of mine said that he was building or fixing amplifiers, and I'm like, this guy, there's so much to it, man. I mean, if you know how to solder and buy the same part and put it in there, and it works, great. But there's so many, you guys see it on Bear Vids. You know, there's so much to amplifiers. You can't even understand it. It's like, what? Okay, whatever you say, Sam. You know, it's very complex stuff, man. Joe Cook, thank you for tuning in, man. Guys, it's almost too late to enter. We got 13 more minutes, I think. It's, or maybe it's already too late to enter. I don't know if it's a half an hour or an hour. I forget. No, we got 12 minutes left, guys. We got 12 minutes left. Hurry. All right, let me scroll on there. Cool. Almost the same amount as the last 2 weeks ago when we had almost twice the people tuned in. We had like 70, 80 people tuned in that show. It was insane. Really, really insane. All right, let me move over here. Actually, yes, let's just go there. Let me take a sip of my drink. I'm thirsty. Klein Day events held locally this month. Good time to boost the tool inventory. I've heard good stuff about that. I mean, that's Kayla's last name, Kayla Klein, just all to see. So I've heard of the brand. I know it's pretty good stuff, man. Absolutely. Oh, come on, Deviant. You gotta watch Parker. No, you know, I mean, there's a lot of bass heads out there of bass head videos, big and small. And it's just all different kind of stuff, man. It really is, you know. You get to hear their side of things, you know. And is everything as watchable as other stuff? You know, there's sometimes when I'm like bouncing around, you know, I'll watch a certain person for a while and then I veer off and I go to the other one, and or maybe just a different topic of, you know, not just car audio. You know, I'm a person too. I like other stuff, but you know, mostly car audio, man. It's my life. But yeah, I mean, can't be hating, man. Can't be hating. Come on, Deviant. My mama said we have a Walmart store too. We got it last year. I seen that. I'm like, I have to get that. That is too cute. All right, Josh says mine quit working when I took my subs out. I'm not sure what's going on. All right, well, if you look at the chart, okay, I would check at your DC resistance on your box, because then you might see the void. Thanks for tuning in, man. Appreciate that you're here. I got an email that I want to give away on Parker's channel and told to contact him on Telegram as a scam. You know, I've had people contact me too, which is stuff where they're like, oh yeah, we can do this and you'll get paid. And I'm like, wait, what? And then I look at the guy and he has like 10 followers on Instagram. Like, no, this is a scam. It happens, man. Welcome to 2022. In the past 5 years, it's kind of been like that. Joe Cook, gotta go. Bass on, man. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you, bud. I love Scammer Payback. I wouldn't say they'd be executed though, RGA. They're always going to be there, man. All right, let me scroll down. Cool. I know a lot of you guys that are tuned in know how to use a multimeter. I know. You know, this is simple stuff, but I feel like this stuff is out there for the person that may not know how to diagnose their setup. And it's just... It's simple, yet you could skip right over the simples. You know, I always be joking with my buddy Justin. I'm like, the 101s, man, you can't forget, you gotta remember the 101s, man. That's 101 stuff right there. You know, just simple stuff. And I'll be like, oh yeah, you know what, that's right. I should have checked that. Or, you know, instead of jumping to conclusions. And it happens all the time to all of us, man. You know, I just feel like troubleshooting and fixing something I enjoy. That's why, I mean, a lot of us probably get bored of our systems. You know, you put it all together, you fixed every problem you ever had, and you run it, and then, one, you want to be louder, but two, it's like you're not having to turn your gears in your mind at all of how to fix something. How am I going to make this work? You know, and that's the journey is half the mission, man. It really is. Obviously, when the finished product is, you know, the point of doing it. But man, you know, just figuring out how things are going to work, that, and then when you run into something, you know, it's like, okay, well, how am I going to do this? How am I going to make this work? And sometimes there's better alternatives than others, but hey, it works. Larry Keller, I mean, you're being honest. Parker's audience needs to watch this video tonight, and you know what? His audience is that. His audience is that, where it's beginner people that are like, bass, I love bass, I want to see more bass, and you know, they're just throwing their system together, or if they even have one, or they probably do, you know, who knows, and that's exactly the crowd that I'm trying to get into as well, because that's where what I do in real life, real life, Team SP Loud, and just being a person on the street and helping people, you know, because those are the people that actually need help, and man, I wish I had that. I wish I had that. There was people out there that had the knowledge, but maybe just weren't very forthwith with the knowledge, where they just were just, you know, kind of closed lips about it, or just, you know, buy this, buy that, you know, whatever. And it's like, that's not the way to do it. You need to be more, you know, let me hold your hand there for a minute, and then once you're good, right? You good? Okay, well, if you ever need anything, give me a call. You should be good. I know so many people that I've helped, and man, they took off. They're flying wings. They're doing 60s. Like, I am not kidding. 55, 60 builds. And it's like, man. And people are like, you know, or, you know, the average person might think, man, aren't you jealous? Like, no. Like, I helped to do that. Like, that is awesome. I helped to get that person into the car audio scene. And that is what I enjoy, you know, because this is what I do, man. And I don't know. I just feel like that's me. You know, I'll get there. I just know it's money, man. You know, and it's just time. We'll get there when we get there, just like anything, man. And I'm so grateful for what I have right now, man. Quad box, man, that thing is awesome. I cannot, like, describe how perfect they made that enclosure and that box for what it is. You put that in there, man, can it play a lot of stuff. It sounds good, it's loud. Like, it is just the perfect 412 box that you could design for music, for everyday listening, for playing below 40 hertz. It's not as loud below 40, obviously, but man, does it have like a lower uppercut punch of that 34 to 31 hertz, man. It just really gets it. It can still play to 27, but it falls off, obviously, and you're getting more vehicle resonance and how that stuff works. But literally 31, that tuning it up, it can play. And it plays with authority, and it's good sounding bass, man. I love it, man. You know, and I'm just appreciative for what I have. One day we'll get there to where we're, you know, ripping people's faces off, but when we get there, right? Oh, man. GZ52, thank you for tuning in. Andy, do you know much about MMAT's amps? I've heard of them. I've never actually messed with them. I don't think they're bad. You know, I feel like every product, you know, I love these questions because you see them in other YouTubers' comments and questions and just Facebook posts and stuff. And it's just like every product that you go out there and buy, it's not like you're going to buy it. Yes, you can get a lemon. Quality control's a thing. But 9 chances out of 10, you're going to get a product that is supposed to be what it is described, right? Except Boss with power, but we'll go there later. Still going to get something that's going to not blow up on you. But you're going to buy a product, and it's going to work, right? And it just depends if that's going to work for you, for your budget, and what you're trying to get in performance-wise. Maybe space is a factor. Maybe you don't need a huge AB amp or something that's, you know, not very efficient that's going to take up your whole back seat. And maybe you need something that's a little more efficient and more expensive, you know, and I feel like, you know, an amplifier, it amplifies sound, and that's what it does. And how it does it can be better or worse compared to others, right, because of the type of components that are in it. But for what we're doing, for just bass and loud music, you know, I feel like a lot of things fit that category. And longevity is obviously a question too. But man, I feel like you get what you pay for majority of the time. You know, if you're going in there and you're getting something, you're getting more power than you think you should get for the amount of money that you're paying, it's probably too good to be true. And that goes for everything. But you know what, MMATs, they're not bad stuff. I've heard the brand. I wouldn't put it that lower tier. I don't know if it's higher. I don't know enough about it, but it's definitely there, man. It's not bad stuff. Thank you for your question, man. This is why we do this. See, Matt G says, awesome. Fuses are too expensive anyway. Thanks for looking out. Right, man. You know, Team No Fuse. Right now, I think I have a fuse in the front of the Pilot, no fuse in the back. I have really short wire from going from the distributor to the amp. I think I have a fuse between the rear battery and the amps, but it's up front in between in the back there, but that's it. Nothing real close to the amps because it's literally like inches and stuff, and even the Cookie Monster, I just got a fuse up front. That's it, man. JYHP40, I believe in its BMS, man. If I'm ever going to have an issue, it's just going to shut off the connection and I'm not going to have a problem. It's not going to catch on fire because I'm not trying to pull 10,000 watts out of it. I shouldn't have a problem unless I get in an accident, but if I'm getting in an accident, I'm going to have more things to worry about, like Cookie Monster slamming into my back. It's going to be a bad day. But yes, I mean, fuses are there for protection of overcurrent, and that's it. That's it. Scroll up on the weekly public service announcement. How could I miss that? Thank you guys. See, that's the thing, man. It happens. I missed it. I missed it, Deviant. I see you talking about the 14.4 Discord chat. Love the memes, by the way. Tony Montana for the win. Yeah, they made a meme about me about being Tony Montana, and that's literally how I blew this Solo X right here, playing that song. Very bass-heavy song, and man, when you're clipping that, it's hard to tell because it just gets louder. Cornut says, people starting out today have so many resources we didn't have in the late 80s, early 90s. And I can just imagine even so more with you because, you know, I was growing up into the age of the internet, you know, when AOL and IM and all that stuff and LimeWire was a thing. And people are spoiled in so many ways today, and if you can take advantage of it, just like a lot of things with today's technology, man, can you excel in whatever you're trying to do. But is it so easy to just veer down the wrong path, you know what I mean? But it's crazy. It's crazy because when you guys were doing that stuff, you guys were practically pioneers in the 80s, 90s, you know, that was the dawn of car audio. In my eyes, you know, yes, Kicker came out in, you know, 85 with the gold and stuff like that, but like real competition, real, you know, a thing, you know, like late 80s, early 90s, man. And you were walking right through it, man. So you guys paved the way, and it's cool to know you guys and hear your stories about how it was back then. And just, you know, it's cool. It really is. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Come on, 25. It's already raining. He's like, more rain. Appreciate you guys. All right. Sound Doctor says that is correct. That's correct. You get what you pay for. 100%, man. You know, there's nothing free in life. You're paying for it one way or another, man. Scott says, LOL, people are like, what about in a big accident? I'm like, if it's that bad, I've already got bigger problems than a positive wire grounding. Right. Right. You're done. At least my case, you know, my car, it's right there. You know, I got a brace, but, you know, big old truck coming behind me, smushing some stuff. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to make it. That's why I would love to start trailering that thing, you know, with a pilot. That would be cool. I mean, come on, 2 Kicker builds, one pulling the other one. That's pretty cool. I need to get a tow dolly. It's the only thing I can do. I cannot get a full trailer. I could, but I don't want to ruin my transmission and all that fun stuff. Mullen says, kids don't know what it's like having a computer. Aids from LimeWire to download a song. I know, the LimeWire days were bad, man. You got Andy scrolling up live. You ain't moving like him. I can't. Thanks for tuning in, Ashy. Appreciate you, bud. That's crazy. No internet in 99? I mean, I believe it. I believe it. No phones, no nothing. But were the days a little better? I believe it. I believe it. All right. Tyler, thank you for tuning in from Kicker Club. Appreciate you guys here. I think, by the way, the giveaway has ended. Yes, it has ended. So we can get to that. But if you guys have any last questions, man, about what we talked about. I mean, I feel like a lot of it's self-explanatory, but this is content for the person that needs it. You know, the simple stuff. Buy this, and if you ever have any other questions, always message me. I mean, you can always either Facebook or email, just the YouTube here, livinloudwithandy@gmail.com. It's very easy. Just shoot me an email. I'll get back to you guys. But I feel like this is the only tool, the main tool that you're really going to need. Others are just going to make things simpler. But this is so that you're not blind, man. And I feel like this is very important. And down the road, you can get some fancy stuff, man. You know, and you could just go all out. You know, you can go all out. All right, cool. Let me get to the winners and do that. So let me, I gotta do that. And then we gotta do this, and then we gotta do that, and oh, come on, there we go. That's a little better. What do you guys like better, the big screen, little screen? I think the little screen works. Yeah, that works. All right, cool. Let me get going here, guys. Drawing winner. 37 people have entered. Good odds tonight. Are the odds in your favor? Well, making my computer glitch, I can hear it. It's okay. Oh, got some familiar faces here. I would hope so. I would hope so. All right, give me 1 second here, guys. So how was everyone's weekend? Beautiful weather. I think rain's coming here soon, but I think we'll be okay. What the? Okay. Rigged. Okay. Ah! Well, why isn't this bigger? I need this to be a little bit bigger. There we go. Why isn't this? Hold on. I'm so confused. Why is this? Did they update this or something? Sorry, getting stuck here. Of course. Maybe it's because my screen's not. No. There we go. My screen wasn't big enough. Darn. Clicking the wrong thing because the screen wasn't wide enough there. Oh! Okay, it's getting interesting now. It's getting real interesting. Okay. Just bear with me, guys. Is that right? Yep. You just put in. Okay. Cool. Got one. That's right. I'm all fancy now. I'm forgetting. I'm feeling rusty for some reason. I don't know why. I'm always rusty. Bear with me, guys. Now that I got everything working, I'll be able to talk to you now. Indiana. All right. Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling. Ah, you know what? So much pressure on me here, guys. Always. Okay. 25 to life. No. No, not that one. That's gotta be a bot. That's gotta be a bot. Alright, okay, so I see what's going on here. I see what's going on here. I see you. I don't know how you do this, J-Dub. Who will survive? What the? Okay, hold on. Definitely rigged. Definitely rigged. Definitely rigged. Come on. I can't see the comments right now, guys, but if you're watching, appreciate you hanging out. All right, let's try this one, huh? Okay. Wish I could just do that. Okay. What the? Okay. Okay. Now we're rolling. Shoot. All right. All right. Cool, cool, cool. You say this is rigged. You guys are trying to rig this. I see it. I see it. I see it. Thanks for holding in, guys. Well, I seen Omaha. I thought we were talking Peyton Manning here. Omaha, Omaha. Okay. Sorry for the wait here, guys. Now, yeah. Okay. Let's see here. Sorry it's taking longer than normal, guys. I was just running into some issues there in the beginning. Okay, we're good. Looking good, looking good. We're firing all cylinders this time. Ah! No. No. Yeah. Yeah, we're good. Okay. Got second place there. Tabor 2s. I like the Tabor 2s, man. They're just lighter than the Cushes. Less features, but they work. They really do. Okay. What's that? Los Angeles! Los Angeles! Looking good, looking good, looking good, looking good. Alright. Last but definitely not least. What's this fine print say? Do not let deviant win. Only unless receive birdie pitcher. Beardy pitcher. What's a beardy? Oh, up. Up. Ah! What, really? No. Ah. Okay. So we're actually good. Right? Yeah. Right? Yeah. This was a tough one this week, guys. This was a tough one. Alright, cool. I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with it. Looks good to me. North Dakota. Nice. All right, cool. Well, before I give away the winners here, let's go check the chat. Sorry, it's been a while here, guys. Let's kick this thing off. Oh, man, it's too quiet. It's too quiet. Oh, there we go. Much better. Woo! Got this. Do it for the dab. Thank you, Ashy. 25, I had to keep picking around you, man. Your name kept coming up. I'm like, man, this guy cannot win. Not today. Dub Team, thank you for tuning in. Hey, Matt thinks it's him. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Definitely North Dakota, though. Jelly Brittle sounds good to me. Tabor 2s are the go-to. Alright, cool. Let's do this thing. Cool, cool, cool. Alright. Thought putting you guys to sleep there in that long video, but you know what? We're here. We're ready. We got some winners here. We're going to do it backwards because, well, this is the way you should do it. This is the way you should do it. Third place, where you get the Kicker EB 400s, the Kicker Unmasked t-shirt, and the Kicker koozies. Third place goes to Farrell H. Jamestown, North Dakota. Congratulations, man. Those EB 400s are awesome, man. If you want to go out, take a run. They are great athletic wear headphones, man. Enjoy those. Appreciate you tuning in. And thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys. All right. Next up, second place, which is, we know, we love them, the Tabor 2s. The budget, I guess you could say, headphones. These things are awesome. Over-the-ear headphones with the Kicker Unmasked t-shirt and koozie, of course. Second place goes to Christopher A. in West Monroe. I think I forgot to put the state. West Monroe, oh, that's the Los Angeles. There we go. Christopher A. from West Monroe, Los Angeles, gets the Tabor 2s. Thank you for tuning in, and congratulations, man. Enjoy those headphones. You're gonna love them. Guys are all gonna love these headphones. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And last but not least, first place with the Kicker Cush NC headphones and the Kicker Unmasked t-shirt and the koozies. We can't forget the koozies. I mean, come on, man. First place from New England, Omaha, Christopher R. Congratulations, man. You get the Kicker Cush headphones and everything else, the Unmasked t-shirt, the koozies. Congratulations, man. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I always do that. That was awesome, man. You guys are awesome for watching, man, and thank you for entering the contest. Thank you, Kicker, for doing what you guys do. We love you guys. We really do. Koozies and jacuzzis, man, they do go hand in hand. I went down to, North Carolina. I had to get a koozie, man. Absolutely. Thank you, guys. You guys are awesome, man. You guys are awesome. Yeah, John, I still got to get you that render, man. I'll get that to you. Baba says, congratulations. Congratulations. I want Andy's game-worn headphones. I mean, we can make it happen. We can make it happen. I'm just going to need another pair. I love these Cush NCs, man. You know it. I know it. You know it. It's always rigged. Thank you for tuning in, Deviant. Appreciate you guys. Dolores. Yes. Yes. See? Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Thank you for tuning in, Russ. Appreciate you, man, and thank you for all the help. Russ was there. He was the first guy at the show, man, and helped me set up and a lot of stuff and helped out through the lane, man. Appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in, man. You got to enter in this stuff, man. You got to tune in early. Get the win-free stuff, man. It's awesome, and I just appreciate that you guys are here. Regular outro, right? Oh, yes, regular outro, of course. I guess we'll do the regular one. You think we'll do the regular one? I think the regular one's a little bit easier just because there's less comments on the bottom, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, we're going to do the outro, but I like the Kicking It with Andy one, but man, this is tight. No, we'll just do the Kicking It with Andy outro. We got to. We only get to do it twice a month, and but we'll have the outro so we can have the caboose. You know it. And you know Cornut is just sitting there. He is waiting. He has been waiting for this moment. He has been waiting for this. Nah, you guys have been filling in his shoe for, man. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let's just go to the outro, man. I love you guys, and I'll see you Friday. Long as I don't get sick, I'm trying to quarantine myself, so well, we should see you Friday. Thank you guys so much. This has been Troubleshooting with the Kicking It with Andy show. Man, you guys are awesome, and as always, stay living loud. Kicking It with Andy is going to be on every other Tuesday. Kicking It with Andy. Kicking It with The train is leaving. The train is leaving. So far, we got Baba with the super chat coming in the caboose. But does anybody want it? I know you guys come in here last minute, just ding, 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 rain, 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 trying to get onto that caboose. Deviant's trying to go in for the slide 199 14.4 talk Discord after party. You know it's always lit in the after party with the Discord chat. Guys are awesome, man. Appreciate you guys. I really do. You know what? 1, 2, 3. Does Deviant's going to take it. Deviant's going to take it. Does someone come in? No one comes in. Bubba comes in. Bubba comes in. Whoop, there it is. Oh, my. Stole it. He stole it. Bubba stole it. Bubba won. It looks like Bubba won. Wait, did Bubba win? Bubba won. Bubba won. See you guys.